Interesting day, Friday, November 13th, the anniversary of the late great Eddie Guerrero. Friday Night SmackDown, and the same day Zelina Vega was abruptly released from her WWE contract. Coming only 15 minutes after she posted this tweet saying that she is in support of unionization in wrestling, she was released from her contract and future endeavored. This sent the internet ablaze, with a lot of stunned faces due to such an abrupt releasing of a current talent. After she recently was drafted to SmackDown from Raw only a few weeks ago, and with her real-life husband Aleister Black being part of the company. But this all stems back from WWE's announcement back on October 29th, with WWE forcing all contracted talent to pause their Twitch and other third-party operations until further notice. This was obviously met with a lot of backlash from fans and talent. WWE was getting money from their talent's third-party platforms, so they got their cut, but the halt in Twitch was what really sent Zelina Vega off. One can only assume that after WWE laid out this order to their talent, things soured with Vega. She had just recently took on Asuka at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's Championship after just recently embarking on a singles run after being manager to Andrade since her days in NXT. So following her loss to Asuka, she would get a rematch the next night on Raw, then get drafted to SmackDown off air, and then kind of disappear with just one match in the last few weeks. So one can only assume she did not stay quiet when it came to her opinion on the company halting the revenue and exposure she was getting on sites like Twitch and OnlyFans. Some of the decision comes from Nick Khan, WWE's president and chief revenue officer, who has experience with young talent and the money they receive from various social platforms. So the tweet about unionization was a straw that broke the camel's back, and WWE decided to let her go. Unions in wrestling have been a large topic of discussion in multiple facets throughout the history of the sport, from the days of Jesse Ventura fighting for this to be implemented, as well as Cody Rhodes in recent memory. The interesting way wrestlers have been classified as independent contractors, but in WWE, they aren't allowed to do anything other than what WWE approves, so effectively, WWE has their hands on everything their talent do. Case in point, the Zack Ryder YouTube channel, Z True Long Island Story, where Ryder literally got himself over by using his channel to do so. After the channel got big enough, WWE put their hands all over it, and that was the end of that. However you feel about the business practices of WWE and how they treat their talent, none of it is illegal, even if it has been under scrutiny for decades and even garnered criticism from former presidential candidate Andrew Yang. In the end, it depends on how the talent decides to handle it, and in Zelina Vega's case, one can only assume she decided to not take it lying down and most likely ruffled a few feathers of high-ranking officials in the company. And the tweet of the very sensitive subject of a wrestler's union was what made WWE release her from her contract. There is no doubt Vega will thrive in all realms of social media, OnlyFans, and Twitch, so I don't think her pockets will be hurting. But this is just another entry in the long history of disgruntled wrestlers feeling taken advantage of by the promoters. Will be interesting to see what Vega says publicly on her Twitch or YouTube about all that went down. But here's hoping that her husband Aleister Black doesn't get buried more than he has been on the main roster.